So, as you know, I've been getting out a little bit, going to the mall a little bit, looking around and smelling some fragrances. Well, there's a reason for that. So, if you want to know what 5 fragrances I am probably going to be adding to my collection here in the next couple of months, meet me on the other side of this intro and we're going to get right into it. Oh, by the way, this is the designer edition. So meet me on the other side of this intro. We're going to get right into it. See you in just a second. What's going on, everybody? You guessed it. It is your boy, Trey Sense. Listen, before we get into this little discussion, this little video, you know how we do it here on the channel. I got something for you. I need something from you. Got a little work for you to do. I need you to like this video. I need you to share this video, and I need you to sub to this channel if you haven't. And after you do all that, I need you to hit the icon bell so every time I do a video, you see it in the notifications and you can come by and see what we're talking about. Okay, today's video is a little different because I don't have bottles of these, so I'll be placing a picture of the bottle somewhere here, somewhere in there. You'll see a picture of the bottle. All right, I think this is my list right here. It is, okay. Excuse me, let me clear my throat. Okay, so, you know, I've been going to the mall a little bit, getting out of the house, just going and smelling fragrances because the samples are nice, and the sample is a great way to get a feel for a fragrance, but sometimes they put them in those little plastic bottles and I don't particularly like them, or sometimes they put them, I don't know how to explain it. They give you this little package and you open it and it's got just a little bit of juice for you to rub on. I mean, you can smell it. And then I got the worst sample ever the other day, and it was from Victor & Rolf Spice Bomb. I guess they had sprayed the fragrance in there, and you open it up and you're supposed to be able to smell it, similar to what you would see in a magazine, but they were awful. And they gave me about 10 of those for some reason. Unfortunately, I already have Spice Bomb Night Vision, so I didn't need it. But I'm going to try to recall from my mind what these fragrances smelled like and which ones I wanted and why I wanted them. You ready? Let's go. The first one on my list is from Dolce and Gabbana, and it's a flanker to the One. It is Dolce and Gabbana, the One Intense. Now, this is one I really like, and it's gonna go one or two ways with this one. It will either be the first one I purchase or the last one I purchase. Here's why. If it's the first one I purchase, it's because we're in the middle of February. You know, February only has, what, 28, 29 days. So we're coming up on the 9th, 10th of it. Great wintertime fragrance. To me, I like it a little bit better than I do the One EDT, and I like the One EDT, but it's darker and richer than the EDT and the EDP, because the EDT and the EDP are very similar to me. So Dolce & Gabbana, the One Intense. The only problem with it is the dry down to it is very irisy, very powdery. Now, that's not a problem for me because I absolutely love irisy, powdery fragrance. That may be one of my best genres, or not best, one of my favorite genres or favorite note profiles in a fragrance is the iris note. The only problem is it is very similar to, in the dry down, and only in the dry down, to Prada Ocean's Blanc. So I don't know. Now I can pick up a 50 ml of it for around 50 bucks off FragranceNet, and you know, that's not a bad price to me. I don't need 100 ml of any fragrance. So if I could actually get a 30 ml of it for around $30, that would be even better for me. But it is a smooth, powdery, date night, wintertime, cuddle type of scent that I really enjoyed. I love going to places and smelling fragrances. I absolutely love it. I adore it. It's frustrating when you go to certain places though, And the people there just, they don't know what they're talking about. I'm looking at the bottle. It's an all black bottle. Again, I'll put it up here on the screen. And I'm knowing that's not the EDP. And the young lady kept trying to tell me, well, that's just the EDP. And I'm thinking, it's not the EDP. I have the EDP. That's the part for, I'm thinking it's something different. You know, so I'm trying to figure out which one it is. So of course I, you know, phoned a friend. I hit old Sam Broom up. Yo, Trey, listen. Trey, listen. Was it the black bottle? Was it the black bottle? Yeah. Yo, Trey, that's dope. You ain't got that? You ain't got that. Trey, you got to get that. That's dope. That's dope, Trey. And I was like, Sam, I need you to focus. Okay. Yeah, Trey, that's dope. That's the Intense. And I was like, okay, I'm thinking about getting that one. You should get it, Trey. It's good. So that's how that conversation went. Actually, we talked about an hour. Really good conversation. You know, Sam's my boy. But anyway, Dolce and Gabbana, the one, Intense, is one I'm looking to add. And the reason I say that it will either be the first or the last is because March will be here soon, and between what I got for birthday presents and Christmas presents and gifts from JP and what I purchased, I loaded up this winter on wintertime type of fragrances. You know, now I don't need anything. Let's just be clear and be honest. You know, my collection is massive. I don't need anything but to keep bringing you content. And as a collector, and since this is my hobby and I don't really do much else, why not? So, but the reason I said it will either be the first or the last is because we're running out of cooler weather. Before too long, March and April, by the time we get to April, there'll be some beautiful cool nights in Alabama, but those days are going to be long. So, you know, so I'm either going to buy it before it gets too cold, or I'm going to wait till it gets cold again. That is Dolce and Gabbana, the one Intense. Nice, sexy, powdery, date night type of scent. The next one really grew on me when I first sampled this. Of course, I sampled it from a little sample, and I wasn't overly impressed with it, but as I was talking about the fragrance that they gave me to sample, that just was in a little thing. You open it up and a little bit of juice, rub it on your hand. I rubbed it on my hand and I was like, that's interesting. Okay, it's growing on me a little bit. I went to the mall, and this time I put it on skin. I just did one spray, bam. And I was like, you know what, I like it. And the fragrance is Prada Ocean. And it'll be up here somewhere. A lot of people already have it. A lot of people have already reviewed it. So the reason Prada Ocean is because the one area I do need to step my game up in a little bit is designer freshies. Designer freshies, because I haven't bought many designer freshies in a while. Most of the freshies that I buy are inexpensive because, let's face it, it's abundance of them. They're out there. They smell pretty good. They get the job done. But it's something about Prada Ocean that is growing on me. Now, sprayed it on my skin and I did like it. I like the scent profile. I like the way it smelled. It has grown on me. Performance on it is going to be horrible on me. It's one of those fragrances that I think people may wear out of season because it is so fresh, so crisp, so clean, so easy to wear, that I think people wear it in the warmer climates. I just don't see it performing well. I had on a long sleeve shirt, so I pulled my sleeve down a little bit and sprayed it here. So then I would just, you know, keep smelling it and smelling it and smelling it. And again, I like the scent profile. Ocean is a good name for it. It's slightly aquatic, very fresh, very masculine, very chill and subtle type of scent. As I'm getting more into those type of fragrances as I get a little bit older, you know, my fragrance doesn't have to introduce me when I walk into the room. You know what I'm saying, guys? So believe it or not, some fragrances, less really is more. I know. I had to be made a believer out of this myself, but listen to me now, believe me later on. But Prada Ocean is a beautiful, slightly masculine, aquatic, fresh type of scent that is designed, in my opinion, to be worn in the spring, summer, and early fall, but I just don't see it projecting well enough to really, what's the word I'm looking for? I don't want to say get a whole lot of use, because no fragrance I buy is going to get a whole lot of use, because again, I'm probably pushing 500. So, I mean, that means I could go a solid year and never touch the same fragrance. Wow, that's a lot. That's a lot, right? And I'm talking about adding some more. But Prada Ocean has grown on me. It is one that I definitely think I want to add to my collection for several reasons. I also need the original Prada Luna Rosa, because I have sports, I have U Sports, I have Black. That's all I think I have from the Prada Luna Rosa line. Yeah, I need the original Prada Luna Rosa because I have Sport, I have Black, I have Carbon as well. So I need to add Ocean and Prada Luna Rosa. But it's grown on me. It's grown on me. But it's a very fresh shower jelly, but not overly. Well, let me digress from that. It's not shower jelly. It's just fresh, very easy to wear, and it's something simplistic about it that makes it sexy, if that makes any sense. Kind of like that girl that's got her little glasses and she pulls her hair up in a ponytail all the time, and you know, you just keep looking at her and you just like, and then you're around her and you pick up on her personality and her vibe, and you just like, man, man, it's something about Felicia that's just sexy. And then you talk to one of your homeboys and they be like, man, I've been know that. So, I mean, that's the way Prada Ocean is. When you first smell it, you're like basic, boring. Just, okay, whatever, no big deal. And then the more you smell it, you're like, there's something here. it's something to this. So, to my point, Prada Ocean may be one of the first that I buy, because if I buy it in either February or March, I can wear it March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October, and into November with the Alabama weather. So Prada Ocean is high on that list. The next one, this next one, again, it's one that I will probably, could be one of the first purchases if I wait till March or April to make a purchase. And it is from the house of Giorgio Armani, and it is Profundo Lights. And it's a lighter, fresher, brighter version of Profundo. And I like it. I do. I like it a lot. Every time I go in there, I pick it up and just smell it. Like, this just smells really, really good. It's just, I think it would be one that went well in the Alabama heat. Again, none of these are going to be monster projectors or monster performers, because they're all really, really light fragrances. But it's something about it, again, that simplicity of it. It's just something about it. Do I need it? No, I don't. I don't need another pair of ears either, but I'd take a pair if I found them, you know what I mean? But it made no sense. But still, you know what I'm saying. But it's something about Profundo Lights that's just, that does it for me. I sprayed it on my wrist too, and I was like, yep. They're just light, easy to wear type of fragrances that just come across as if you're not trying too hard. Because I put a lot of emphasis on getting more masculine scents, because I turned 46 and I'm just like, you know, I want to smell like a 46-year-old man, yada, yada, yada. So I put a lot of emphasis on masculinity, which is great. There's nothing wrong with that, because you can't smell too masculine. But at the same time, sometimes you don't want to be so serious. Sometimes you don't want a heavy scent. Sometimes you just want to spray something light on and get in the wind and get that breeze pumping off your skin. And those two that I just mentioned, Prada Ocean and Profundo Lights, I think are perfect examples for that. Yeah. So they may get added to they may be 1 and 2 added to the collection. All right, this next one really surprised me because I had talked to JP about it, and JP was like, Trey, on the cool, Trey, it's all right, but you know, I don't know, Trey. It's just another freshie on the cool, Trey. And this particular fragrance is from the house of Mont Blanc, and it is Mont Blanc Legend Red. And I was really shocked when I smelled it. I was shocked. I was like, that's pretty good. that's pretty good. The only thing about it is I know Mont Blanc fragrances tend to hit discounters relatively fast, and I don't want to overpay for it. I don't want to pay $100 for it and then 6 months later see it on Fragrance X or Fragrance Net for 50, you know? So, but it is definitely high on my list of purchases. Again, these are all spring, summer, early fall type of scents. And the reason I'm looking at them now is because, again, whichever one I purchase or whichever two I end up purchasing first will get a lot of wear, and they will get a lot of use between now and the end of the summer. So I don't know. I don't know, because fall tends to drag out in Alabama. It gets hot before we know it, and it takes forever to cool. It was like this year, it was December before it cooled off, and then it was still hit or miss. Even like in the middle of the winter, like today here in Alabama was 62 degrees, between 62 and 70 degrees. Sun just blaring through the sky, which is beautiful. Don't get me wrong, it's beautiful, I love it. But it kind of makes it hard to do a fragrance rotation where you shift from the winter frags to the, so I invest more in fragrances that are more versatile and more suited for warmer climates, because I live in a warmer climate now. Southeast weather has shifted. You don't get very much winter anymore. But Mont Blanc Legend Red is one that is high on my list. It's high on my list. It may be the next big purchase. All right, what do I got left? Now this one is one that I just, for some reason, has escaped me, and I feel like every man needs it in his collection, especially a man like me, you know, that considers himself serious, which most of the time, I'm telling you guys, if you ever get a chance to meet me, you know, what you see is what you get. I wake up with a smile on my face most times, and I try to keep that smile there, because life is hard. You know, stuff happens, but if you get up in the morning, that's a reason right there to press on and just keep smiling. Keep smiling. You know, trouble does not last always. But this fragrance has eluded me. And what I was saying was, a man that is, you know, confident and a gentleman's man needs a fragrance like this in his collection. And the fragrance is from the house of Prada. And it is simple, Prada Ocean. I have not gotten that fragrance. All these years, I have not gotten it, and I just need a fragrance to when I want to put on a button down, you know, or a nice polo and some jeans. Very similar to Versace's, is it Versace? Versace Pro Homme, is that the name of it? You know, the blue one. Very similar to that one in the sense of it's just the perfect masculine, non-offensive fragrance. And that's one that I've been wanting to add to my collection for quite some time, and just haven't gotten around to doing it. Again, I don't want a decant of it, so if I can find a partial bottle, maybe, I don't know, halfway full for, matter of fact, I'm probably gonna look on Macari when I get done with this video. If I can find a partial bottle halfway full, maybe, I don't know, 50 mil, it's got maybe 30 mil left in it, you know, for 20, 25 bucks, I'll go that route. I'm cool with that, you know, I'm cool with that. That'll be fine, that's enough for me. You know, because I just think that's a great fragrance to wear to the doctor's offices or you know, places like that. You know what I mean? Gotta go to church, you know, you gotta go to a lawyer's office or something like that, and you wanna smell nice, but you don't wanna come in there smelling like Sauvage or Red Tobacco or even Spice Bomb. Not that those fragrances smell bad, because they don't. I love them all. I love those fragrances. But you still want to go in there, you know, smelling good, but you want to smell like you've been here before and you've done this. You know what I'm saying? So this one, at least that's just my opinion. So those are 5 fragrances that I am hoping to add to my collection in the year of 2022, and that is the designer edition. Couple of videos will go by, I'll do some more videos, and then I'm gonna do a niche edition, because I have a couple of niche fragrances that I'd like to add to my collection as well, and then some cheapies. There's some cheapies floating around out there that I have not got my hands on, and picked up yet, and I want to add those to my collection too. I want to add that to my collection too. Little tidbit of information for you. Guy I work with, young gentleman by the name of we just call him B most of the time. He and I were talking about fragrances, and I was like, B, I got to get you some fragrances. So I came home, made a couple of decants. I think I decanted a Mont's Futura. I decanted CK1. Oh my goodness, and I can't remember what the other one is. Man, I can't. I know a Mont Futura CK1. I wish I could remember what the third one was, but it was more of a date night fragrance as well, because that's what I was trying to do. Getting one that was business, one that was pleasure, and one that was kind of a sexy date night. It'll come to me in just a minute. Davidoff's Run Wild. I went with that one because it's inexpensive and it's kind of got that same profile of Invictus. It's kind of got that same profile. So I went with the Davidoff Run Wild, CK1 for pleasure, you know, just an easy grab and go type of scent. And for date nights, I went with the Futura. So I asked him today, I was like, B, so which one of those fragrances did you like, you know, the best? And he was like, the Future one. I was like, yeah, so. And I went with those three because they're inexpensive. Because B's not the type of guy that's gonna spend a lot of money on fragrances. Because I was like, okay, cool, you like that one? I said, that's from my mom. I said, you can get that for about $30. He was like, that little decant thing was $30? I was like, nah. You can get a 100 ml bottle for about $30. He was like, oh, I was fixing to say, I won't be wearing that one anymore. And I was like, yeah, well, you know, now you know you can get it for $30. And I just said that to say, you know, it's something about the gift of giving and fragrances and in general that just, you know, I love, you know. I love doing these YouTube videos. I love interacting with people. You know, like my partner, Mr. Lester, that'll pop up at the store and, you know, we'll stand there and talk fragrances for 10 or 15 minutes. I love that, you know. So part of what I do is for all of what I do is for the love and the joy of it. So I appreciate you guys being so active in the comment sections. Most of you, or all of you, are very thoughtful and have very good questions and insight to fragrances, and I greatly appreciate it all. But anyway, so I definitely have to get off here, do some editing so I can put those bottles up so y'all can see them on the screen. For those of you who have to have a visual, I understand. So we'll get those up so you guys can see them. And, you know, I don't know, we might be buying some of that. Maybe, I think I'm gonna wait till March though. I think I'm gonna wait till March before I make a purchase, I think. Pretty sure. Maybe April, I don't know, we'll see. But anyway, you already know, man, I really appreciate y'all returning to the scene of the crime and straight flexing with your boy. Greatly appreciate it. You already know, be active in the comment section. It does, you know, help out a lot. It helps us all a lot. And always, whether it's me or anybody, be sure you like your favorite YouTubers' videos. It really helps them with the algorithms and views. Okay? All right. So I'm fixing to get off here, edit, do all that good stuff, get it out so you guys can see it. I hope you all have had a beautiful week. And until next time, I love you all, and may God bless you all. Peace.